All right, UFC 303 taking place this Saturday, and I'm going to go through my picks, predictions, and breaking down some of the fights that I find interesting. So, um, first one on the opening of the main card, we have Ian Gary versus Michael Venom Page. So, I'm going to pick Michael Venom Page to win this fight. Probably, I could see him knocking Ian Gary out or just outpointing him because he is a point karate fighter. So, I think MVP is going to win. He'll either get a KO or just outpointing him and getting a pretty convincing decision. So, moving on, we have a bathroom break. And after the bathroom break, we have Smith versus Roman Dolidze. So, Anthony Smith, I think he has a lot. I think he has enough experience. I think he's just, I don't know, decently well-rounded, and I think he'll be able to do enough to beat Roman Dolidze. So that's who I'm going with. And then moving on, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. And I'm actually surprised that more people are picking Brian Ortega. I think it's just because he's a more well-known name and he's ranked higher in the division. But I think Diego Lopez is going to get this done because Brian Ortega has this thing. It's a very interesting strike defense. It's where he catches all of the punches on his face, so he blocks it with his face somehow. But I think that Diego Lopez is going to be able to go out there and be a much better striker. And you have to remember, Diego Lopez is a submission artist himself, and Brian Ortega kind of relies on jiu-jitsu. So for that reason, I'm picking Diego Lopez, and I think I honestly could see him finishing because he is a knockout artist and a submission artist. I don't know if he'll submit Brian Ortega unless he drops him and then subs him like we saw with Islam and Oliveira. But I think Diego Lopez has enough skills. He's more well-rounded, so I'm picking him. And then we have the main event, and I honestly think this one's a coin flip. Jiri Prochazka versus Alex Pereira, and I honestly don't know who to pick, but here's why I'm going to pick Jiri. The reason I'm picking Jiri is because I look back on this video, I say I picked Jiri and everybody else picks as Alex Pereira. I think I'll look like a genius, so that's why I'm going to choose him. But if I look back, I can say, well, I went with a pick that most people didn't go with, so I went with a not safe pick because the safe pick is just to pick Alex. So that's why I'm picking him. But if you go back and look at their first fight, I thought Jiri was actually winning pretty convincingly up until the point where he got dropped. And then Mark Goddard stepped in, and everybody thought it was an early stoppage. So for that reason, I'm going to pick Jiri. So I think he could have survived that and been on his way to winning. And people talk about Alex Pereira's power, but Jiri has great power too. So I think he'll be able to outdamage Alex Pereira. But Alex Pereira does have the kind of knockout power. Everybody has seen his highlight reels and him on the Power Cube. He is a very powerful striker. So I think if he could put Jiri's lights out. But I think Jiri's going to be able to mix in a little bit of wrestling, and he's going to be able to go out there and just have his awkward style. But I don't know. We could see Alex Pereira adapt and come out and do better than he did last time. So I honestly think it'd be more interesting for the UFC if Jiri wins because then they can do the trilogy and we would get 3 awesome fights with them. So yeah, that's my picks. Tell me if you think I'm right or whether I'm wrong in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you guys after the UFC event. Like and subscribe. Bye.